So, top movies for coders and programmers in 2026. If you are a computer scientist or a programmer, or if you are pursuing a degree in mathematics or are interested in mathematics, these movies can be your inspiration for the field you are in. Also, if you are in hacking, you can find some good stuff here. Number one, the social network. Now, we everyone of us we use Facebook. This is basically a tale of Facebook, how it went from the dorm in Harvard to the multi-billion dollar company that it is today. This story follows Mark Zuckerberg from his days in Harvard, from building the MVP to scaling the product and all the stuff that was along the way, the friendships, the alliances, the lawsuits. This movie details all those. It is one of the best movies if you are a coder, or if you are want to get into programming. I know a lot of people who went into programming after watching this movie. So this is good. Next one is Black Hat. So if you are a hacker or if you are in cybersecurity, this one is a must watch. Black Hat basically follows MIT student who is in jail, but the government has released him to investigate cyber attacks in some power plant in China. So this is a great movie. You can, the storyline is great. It is basically a thriller. So you, with all the hacking vibes. So if you're like are a very techie, or if you want all the hacking jargon, this is the movie for you, because the story and the way it's presented is great. Means it also shows how real world cyber attacks are done and how security vulnerabilities are exploited to actually trigger real world disasters. So for hackers, this one is for you. The next one is Gifted. Now this one really touched my heart. This is for mathematicians and people who love mathematics. This one is really heartwarming. I have watched this one like twice or thrice. Basically, it follows a young child prodigy who grew up with her uncle. Her uncle, she is basically what you expect from from a prodigy. She has learned mathematics well beyond her age, but her uncle wants her to have a childhood instead of being forced into the ultra competitive rat race of mathematicians. You know, you know the stuff. So this is the back and forth between the uncle and her mother and this child. So this shows like sometimes you have to like give some time, like you have to enjoy life before you do your stuff. Or enjoying life is also central to excelling in your career paths, in mathematics, in specific to this context. This is a really good movie. I highly recommend you watch this. The next one is the ultra classic, The Matrix. For the for those millennials, this one is a gold mine. Like hackers are like, this one is the OG of hacking movies, The Matrix. Be- I still to this day I see a lot of memes based on this, the red pill, the blue pill. This is basically, the world is a simulation, and so one day Neo is given a chance to uh, wake up and see the real world, that is basically where humanity has been suppressed and dominated by machines, and he has to basically fight for the freedom of humanity. Right? This one is a classic. Haven't met a programmer who hasn't watched this. Next one is Inception. This one is a more like parallel worlds, multiverse stuff. This is basically a man who like steals secrets by traveling in other people's dreams. This one is like a mind-bending sci-fi thriller sort of stuff. I enjoyed it, but it was not very, for me personally. But the story is great. This is one of those Christopher Nolan movies that you can't just put down once you start. But it was just not for me. But it's still the idea, the concept, when you watch the movie, you will like lose lose your boundaries of which what is real, what is happening, what is not happening. I mean, this is the idea is great behind this movie. The next one is Ex Machina 2014. This one is also a classic. This is basically um, a young programmer is basically comes face to face with some sort of a advanced AI, and there's a lot of dynamics between the person and this AI, which leads to a lot of manipulations, psychological battles, and stuff like that. This one, I have watched this one, but I don't know. This one might not be for everyone. I mean, if you're, I mean, in this AI era, this might actually become more relevant. But back then, I felt like it was a little bit, it may be a little bit above its times. This shows like how the interaction between artificial intelligence and humans can become dangerous or can go out of hand, and the consequences of that. Hidden Figures 2016. This one is like a classic. I mean, not a lot of people have heard of this, but this one is good. Like this follows like the journey of three African American women who like are on the NASA team to send people to the moon. I mean, this one is like, if you are interested in mathematics or if you're a mathematician, this one is a must watch. Like the way the ideas are converted into real world prototypes. I mean, for women in mathematics, this one is a must watch. So that's all for this time. I think there should be some honorable mentions, and like there would be a few. Like there is Imitation Game. So this one follows like obviously the journey of Alan Turing as he breaks the Enigma code, and makes like the world's first computer to like break the Enigma code, and so that the British can win World War II. I mean, you all have heard of Germans, the Nazi Germany's nefarious Enigma machine and the code that it generates. Basically, they used an Enigma to communicate with one another. So the British, their objective was to break that code, and so they set up a team to do that, and Alan Turing was part of it. And so he developed an entire machine, the world's first computer, and to break that Enigma code. And essentially, it was a turning point in the war, as the British would decode the German communications without their knowledge, and that would give them an edge. It's also a must watch, especially if you are like a mathematics geek. This one is like there is Alan Turing actually made a lot of contributions to the world of computing while making this Turing machine. This one is a must watch.